Hyperreality number 8. Freedom. Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda for Nazi Germany and history's biggest liar, knew big lies needed repeating to be believed. The repetition created a consensus fallacy, the idea that if many people believe something, some position or some ideology, it must be true. Consensus fallacies are how common ideas escape critical thinking and become hyperrealities, such as Earth is the center of the universe. The most fraudulent hyperreality running rampant in the first world is freedom itself. The perception that we come into this world free and unencumbered, a sovereign person born with inalienable rights that cannot be co-opted, confiscated, or subjugated by any laws, customs, or beliefs. Not true. Not for you, me, or anyone else. The truth is, we are livestock, hosts for a diabolical purpose, free-range slaves. Like free-range chickens, we roam free in our container, a country, provided the illusion of freedom, but we are still held captive for our eggs, our economic impact. If you leave, you need permission, a visa, and your leave is limited to whatever the visiting container, country, allows, usually 90 days. You see, ever since your parents signed your birth certificate, you've become government collateral, corporatized by our country. We're not sovereign individuals free from governance. We're corporations. Corporations subject to taxations, regulation, registration, licensing, and a whole host of authoritative mandates. You, the corporation, are owned by the government. Everything you own, and everything I own, is also owned by the government. Yes, you read that right. Everything. And the script? It's merely the custodian of the collateral through its hyper-realistic advancement through childhood indoctrination, commercialization, media manipulation, and social engineering. Now, I realize this borders on conspiracy theorist screed, but I assure you, everything is incontrovertible fact, as much as the sun setting in the west. With scripted doctrine fully entrancing the populace, unquestioned and undoubted, your government enjoys lifetime benefits through your corporate selves' economic output in the form of labor and consumption. This drives taxation and/or dependent constituents who love voting as much as they do consuming. And with an unlimited supply of voting and consuming human collateral, the government can continue to print money today to pay off printed money yesterday. Perhaps this is why the Federal Reserve is so interested in promoting a college degree is worth $20 gazillion. Money truly is no longer backed by gold, but backed by blood. You. And the script administrates the chattel. In 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt paved the way for currency backed by human collateral over physical collateral, such as gold. When you hear the phrase, backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, what you're really hearing is, backed by the United States citizens. Our money system is financed on our backs, and the script keeps fish in the pond while the collateral fattens the system. And while we're technically free to make choices, we're not really free in terms of sovereignty. I realize these are quite the leaps. Enslaved over free, everything I own is not really mine. Thankfully, you don't need to believe it, because, frankly, most won't. And that's okay, because you don't need to buy the slave argument to win the unscripted life. This section, or this book, isn't about sovereignty, strawman personas, the fiat banking system, or some argument about birth certificates as it pertains to admiralty law. It's about taking the blindfold off and asking the tough questions. Like, if confiscating 100% of your economic output constitutes slavery, at which point does it cease to be slavery? 80%? 50%? 39.6%? So here's the candid truth about freedom and the stuff we think we own. In 2014, I paid cash for a house in beautiful Fountain Hills, Arizona. I own it free and clear, with no mortgage or bank involvement. Liberating, huh? But the truth is, I really don't own it. The government has given me equitable title, which means I'm free to use it as long as I play by their rules. In effect, my home is leased from the government, the state of Arizona, and my yearly property taxes are the lease payment. If I refuse to pay my property taxes, the state will repossess what seemingly is mine, and the amount of the delinquency is immaterial. $20 or $20,000, it doesn't matter. Don't pay and say bye-bye to your crib. Heck, in Pennsylvania, a woman lost her house when it sold at auction for an unpaid $6 tax bill. Ownership? Not exactly. The same holds true for your car. Cancel your insurance, your driver's license, and remove your license plate. How long will it take before you're pulled over, arrested, or your car towed? In my birth state of Illinois, you'd last about 13 minutes. Licensing is simply a co-opted freedom sold back to you by your friendly neighborhood bureaucrat.